Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. And this is our legend segment. Ladies and gentlemen, we got two legends on the show with me tonight. Delray finest. We got Mr. Randy Straghn, Carver High, middle linebacker, fullback, Bethune-Cookman, Baltimore coach. And we got his teammate, guy I haven't seen since probably the late 60s, Mr. Lawrence Big Daddy Hunt, Carver High, All-State, All-America, All-World, Iowa State, All-World, and Pittsburgh Steelers. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, Bobby. Thanks for the invite. Glad to be here, man. Glad to be here.
I'm so excited to have you guys on, man. Listen. We got so much to talk about. And so just really chime in. We're just going to have a conversation, man, and have a good time. I had a lot of your teammates on the show. I had Greg Dotson. I had Penn on the show. And so we're just going to have a good time. Charles Canadian was on the show, right?
Oh,
He was a baby when he played with y'all.
Charles, he's a good football player, man.
Man, Charles was a great football player.
Yeah.
But listen, we talk about Carver High. Let's start there. Let's go back to the beginning, right? Because the thing about Carver High, you guys set the bar real high in Delray. I mean, y'all set it high. Nobody has ever accomplished in high school in Delray what the class of 68, or class of 69 and class of 70 at Carver High accomplished in Delray. And y'all set the bar high. And I can remember coming behind you guys, hoping and wishing that we can win a state title, and I want to do everything Penn did, right? Penn won 2 titles. I lost 2 titles. I couldn't get it done, Randy. I gave my best shot. But anyway, you set the bar high. You guys have inspired a lot of people over the years. And I know when you were in high school, you didn't even know how you were inspiring people. So let's start talking about Carver High, right? Mm-hmm. You guys were 2 stellar. You played both sides of the ball. Randy played fullback, and you also played middle linebacker. Mm-hmm. Big Daddy, you were an offensive tackle and a defensive tackle, right? Mm-hmm. So correct. You guys played both sides of the ball. But we all know one thing about football. I don't care how good your stars are. I don't care how pretty your running back is or how great your quarterback is. If we don't play good defense, we ain't going nowhere.
Nothing's going to happen. Nothing good's going to happen.
Nothing's good going to happen. So let's talk about that because I know you were the play caller on the defense, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Let's talk about, first of all, let's talk about you, Big Daddy. Talk about the defensive lineman you played next to on that.
Oh, man. We had Dexter Josie. Wow. Then we had Charlie Gaynor, right? Wasn't right? Charlie Gaynor. Charlie Gaynor.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And then we had Clarence Robinson.
Head.
Head
was a monster.
And then the other end, Randy, who was the other end? Was it MacArthur?
MacArthur Jackson.
Yeah, MacArthur Jackson.
And then you had Skipper, Carl Straghn.
Yep. But that interior line, and I got to tell you, there's this coach called Huggy Baby Henson, and he didn't play the okie doke, man. he was on us every day, Bobby, about technique. And Roger Coffey just drove you crazy trying to get in shape, man. That was his thing. If I get you in shape, you can beat anybody. And that was he never said it like that, but that's exactly what he was doing, man. It was grueling out there. There was nothing about playing football for Roger Coffey that was fun. Nothing.
It was a love and hate relationship.
Yeah. It's amazing, Randy. So when I think about Coach Coffey, I spent so much time in the Coffey's home. So he never coached me, but all the wisdom and everything he gave me, I say he coached me, right? Uh-huh. Bump Mitchell for the Delray Rocks was a miniature Roger Coffey. We were getting the same. So I got a little experience with that. So all right, so Randy, tell me about the guy who played next to you, the linebacker. Or tell me about
Well, my junior year, the first state championship year, it was Jerry Anderson and Ricky Grant.
They were the corners, right?
There was a corner outside linebacker.
Okay, that's right.
And our senior year, Lawrence, it was Freddie Grice and Lester Flowers. It was the 2 outside linebackers in. It was We was tough. I mean, we was tough. Like Lawrence said, once we in shape, you got butt beaten.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and we was fast, we was quick, and we don't get tired.
Mm-hmm.
We had crazy.
Don't get tired.
And that's because y'all was in shape.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Oh yeah. You were gonna play both ways. Once he had his starting lineup,
right.
I think the only person didn't play both ways was Tony. Anthony had to protect that arm.
Absolutely.
But everybody else was prepared to play both ways, whether you were starting or not. Everybody was ready to play both ways.
Wow.
And the commitment that it took to make that happen was unbelievable, because there were nights when if practice didn't go well, Coffee would pull out the cars and turn on the lights, man. When they wouldn't let him turn on the big lights, he'd bring the cars on the field so that we can run Winston.
Right. So, but listen, so when we talk about things like that, Randy, you know, football back in the old days was a different game.
Yes.
It was coached different, right?
Yes.
And they got a lot of a coach back in those days would get everything out of you, right?
True.
And I know Coach Coffee pulled everything out of you guys, right?
We had a game, Lawrence. Do you remember this game? We beat Wymo Tech 65-0.
Oh wow!
Yep.
And Coffee called a meeting right after the game. We still had uniform. Use this classroom. He chewed us out.
What?
All he chews us out. He got the bowl and patted the whole defensive team. You know why? This is what he said. We gave up 5 yards. It was an offside penalty. He said that offside penalty could have motivated them to come back and beat us. It was 2 minutes left in the game. He did. That's what he did.
And you were 65 to nothing.
Yes, I said I thought
he was
won the game. That's what he did.
Hey, he was off the chain now. I'll tell you.
He was off the chain. He was off the chain.
He was definitely a different personality.
Yes.
But I'm gonna tell you now, that man was born to coach football.
Oh yes.
He was
my goodness.
He's a genius.
Born to do that thing, man. He was born to do it, man. I'm just telling you. But I'm telling you, man. You know, and so the game. I don't know how you coach kids today, and can't really demand that thing from them. You know what I'm saying? You can't demand these kids now. You can't push them in the back like we were pushed in the back. You know.
No.
Now, Lawrence, I gotta tell you this. You know, Coach Henson, coach. He's the D-line coach at Atlantic High School when I played. So we did have a couple things over there that y'all had, right?
Yeah. That language got a little rich at times.
Hey, that's the easy part about it, right? It's just the language, you know. So
Bobby, when I decided to go to Iowa State, Roger really didn't want me to go. He says, you're not going to make it. You're going to be a small fish in a big pond. Big Daddy, I just don't think that's a good decision for you. And when we got there and they lined us up, and I remember Coach Henson always telling me, you know, work your technique, Big Daddy. That's all you got to do. You know, 2 yards, nobody's blocking you. Keep your shoulders parallel. And just know something's coming from the inside. Just get ready for it,
right? And
split the double team. You know, those are basic defensive line principles.
Right.
When I got to Iowa State, all they had to do was teach me their defenses and their calls.
Wow.
There was nothing left for them to do. I went to Roger Coffey's finishing school on football, and I think Randy did the same thing at Cook.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. But I tell you guys really set the bar high. You know. I can imagine what it was like playing defense with you guys, right? Because when you think about it, all the great talent that comes from the town of Delray, it's been a lot of talent. And you know, I left home, and I really consider myself leaving home, Randy, when I went to college, because that's when I started to kind of disconnect, not knowing everybody. And then when I came to Atlanta, I've been living in the same place since 1981. I've been here. You know, if somebody don't call me and tell me about a kid that's playing, I don't have a clue. And then when they do tell me, the only way I'm going to know, I say, well, who's their parent? You know, well, who the granddaddy is, right? and maybe I get to know. But one thing about Delray, I don't know what it is about Delray, we breed football players in Delray.
Yes, we do.
I can't explain it. We can say it's something in the water, every generation. And so I know you guys inspired me to play the game, right? Mm-hmm. So let me ask y'all this question. Who inspired you to play football?
Man, for me, I remember Dogman. And and I remember seeing Dogman walk on the field, man, and I just that's a guy that can bring it. That's a guy that can bring it. I remember Red and those guys, Tucker and those guys playing football and going to the games trying to sneak in and trying to get a candy apple so I can get and watch the game in real fast. But as 9, 10 years old, man, we were going to those football games. It was a community. It was like a rite of passage. If you had the skills, if you had the ability, you were supposed to play football and you were supposed to be good at it.
When when I was a little boy, my father used to have an ambulance service.
Okay.
And we just go in football game on the field, and you see like Bobby Tucker, Jerry Stewart, Mutt Lee. You see those linemen, the roll, little roll, kind of mind your big daddy and little daddy. and those football players there, man, I used to slob to see them play football. One year they was undefeated. They were undefeated 1 year, and the next year they were tied and won all their games.
Wow.
Pompey with the head coach in.
Yep.
Boy, doing that, Lawrence can tell you, boy, when those lights come on at night, boy, look at him, boy, time to go to the football game.
It was time to go. You heard the drums banging, man.
Go. And the band, it was like Lawrence said, it was community.
Oh, absolutely.
The community, when we played, raised us.
Mm-hmm.
We had more than one daddy and mama. The whole community was your mama and daddy. And the discipline, it was there.
Right.
Yep.
But then, look at him. When Coffin beat you with that bowl and stuff, the parents will beat you with the bowl. Because Coffin with your mama and daddy went on that football field. He'll tell you that. And the parents gave him 100% to go ahead.
Wow.
Yep.
That's the community.
Right, absolutely. And that was the time we lived in too. And so I can remember, Randy, in Delray, because I had kin folks on both sides of North and the South Side, right?
Yeah.
So I can be on 12th Avenue, Southwest, right by Carver. I can be in Carver Park.
Yeah.
Or I can be on 6th Avenue with my grandmother, on North Side 5th Avenue, right? Mm-hmm. Or I can be over by Teen Town Center because my cousin Tony Scott lived there. I spent a lot of time with Tony growing up. Right. Mm-hmm. And so I can remember getting in trouble and parents coming out of the house and whooping my behind. And that was just the law back then.
That's it.
Yep. Every parent can discipline you, right? You get out of line, they'll say, Bobby, is that you, Reverend Butler's son? Oh, come in here. And I'm butt up. And I ain't gonna say nothing to my parents. Hopefully they don't call home and tell them.
Hopefully they don't call, right?
Oh, sweet Jesus, yes. Oh my God. Miss Barry Hill mother.
Yeah.
Miss Jacqueline Hill, Big Dad can tell you yourself. She did not play.
What?
Oh my God, Lord have mercy.
Miss Hill?
Oh, Miss Hill? I boy, look at him. If Miss Hill tell your parents, you gotta beat him.
Oh,
yep.
She might beat you first. Pray to God, please don't tell mama and daddy. That's another beat. Oh my God. That's what it was.
Well, I tell you, I thought she was a sweet woman.
Oh.
She is.
If you got her time wrong.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Well, listen, I gotta tell you guys this, right? So there's so many people that love you guys, right? Randy, I can tell you right now, when I talk with people about me, I tell them what Anthony Penn means to me, right?
Oh yeah.
I can't begin to tell y'all what that man means to me, right?
Mm.
I always say no Penn, no Bobby, right?
Yeah.
Because I did everything in my power to be Anthony Penn.
Mm.
And so I looked up to him. He really inspired me to play the game because I was a quarterback, Big Dad, all through high school and Part 1 until I went to college. Yeah. And so Charles Ferguson, Minister Arafat, you are that person to him, Brandon.
Oh yeah.
He watched everything you do. You trained him. You taught him.
That's
right?
true.
And I'm gonna tell you something now. I'm gonna tell you something now. I'm gonna tell you something about him. We played Delray Rock ball together. He was a year younger than me, but he always played up in age. So Charles Ferguson, you know, you got a lot of guys with skill that play football, but you have some guys who are football players. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
They understand the game. They do everything well.
Yeah.
You know, they're just not fast. They can catch the ball. They do everything. They block. They tackle. Charles Ferguson, Minister Arafat, is one of the best. Put it this way. He was the best football player I ever played with until I played with William Andrews in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, just can do it all, right? And so I used to watch him. I had no interest in defense when I was a youngster, but he was such a good cornerback at the Delray Rock. He'd make you watch him. He was that good. And then when he got to high school, Randy, I'll never forget this, man, because I used to live on Southwest 4th and 8th Street, right? And right down the street from Bump Mitchell's church.
Oh, yeah.
I used to live right down that corner. My parents were renting a home there. And so to go to Carver Park, I always went right by Ferg house. And I saw him under the carport, man. He got some weight. And, man, every time I go by there, he's just pumping. He's just pumping. He's just pumping. I don't care what time of day I go by there, he's under the carport pumping weight. I said, man, I said, Blue working on something. Dog, Blue working on something. You know, and I just passed by and said, dude, the next thing you know, he getting swole.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, he's a middle linebacker, Lawrence. And I don't know who this guy is, but I'm telling you, I don't know. Him and Randall are in a different group when we talk about middle linebacker. And Delray produced a lot of ball players, but them two right there, I don't know of anybody that played middle linebacker like they did.
Oh, Bobby, you're so right. I remember hearing Randy's pads snapping, people's heads snapping back. Oh, yeah. I remember hearing that sound. I can hear it right now, like it was yesterday, man. And you know, if you're gonna block your tackles, you're gonna have to leave. You're gonna double the tackles. You're gonna have to leave somebody open. It's usually Randy Straghn, and he didn't miss very many tackles, man. Oh, no. Randy was the key. He was the key to our defense.
And listen, he wasn't nice when he got there.
No.
Lord, I gotta tell you this. You were such a, you know, most times, you know, when kids, you know, start admiring people, it's not the lineman. You know, especially offensive linemen. They don't get no praise, right? But
linemen don't get into love, man.
Yeah, but you were a real all-star lineman, where you were a star in Delray. Everybody knew who you were.
That's true.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing. My cousin Tony Scott, who you heard me talk about a little bit ago, he wanted to be just like you. And matter of fact, Coach Coffey, he played for Coach Coffey at Boca, and Coach Coffey used to tell him, "You playing like Big Daddy. You playing like Big." So he knew if I'm playing like Big Daddy, and he left high school, Big Daddy. He was 235 pounds. He got a scholarship to Simpson College in Iowa. Yeah,
I know where Simpson is.
He played offensive guard up there. So you guys have inspired a lot of people, and what that does, man, it just make in our community, it's continuous. You dig what I'm saying? So like for instance, Penn inspired me, right? And then one day I used to go in the streets, man, and I used to play street ball, and I'll get my T-shirt and I'll put number 10 on, and I'll put Penn name on the back of my T-shirt, right? And I go out and I'll play in the street, and I'm Penn. I'll be scrambling around to throw the ball, right? And I developed some skill doing that, Randy. I developed some skill doing that, right?
Yeah.
Pretending I was Anthony Penn. Well, let me tell you how this thing worked. So when I was a senior in high school, I'm coming home, and there was an open field, and kids was playing, and a lot of people was watching. So I pulled over, and I got out, and I see the kids run toward me. And this kid had on his T-shirt, had number 11, and had Butler on the back of the T-shirt.
Oh, wow.
That thing made me pause. Because I never, you don't see yourself like that. Yeah. How well you're playing, you don't see yourself as, you're just Bobby, Randy, and Lawrence, right?
Yeah, correct.
We people. We don't see ourselves like other people. So one of my messages to high school students today, I say, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're inspiring a lot of kids behind you. So make sure you're on your best behavior. Make sure you're being a good example. Because them kids, them fourth graders, them fifth graders, them sixth graders, they can't meet Julio Jones. No. They can't meet, Patrick Mahomes, but they see you in their community playing on high school Friday night, and you're the hero.
Absolutely.
And so you got to live up to that. So the whole thing is the lineage has passed down because Red Odom inspired Randy. Randy inspired Charles Ferguson. Charles Ferguson inspired another generation, and it goes on down, and the community is still strong playing football in Delray.
It's still strong. Bobby, when we talk about community, and this is a different era now, and our community that we grew up in has changed dramatically. Not all good and not all bad, but it's just changed, and it's evolutionary. Things will change forever. But the one thing that I can truly say is that we had parents and we had adults in the community that took an interest in us. Absolutely. And without Zach Straghn, without a bunch of those guys in our community, it would not have happened, because they were inspirational in making certain that we got jackets, that we got rings, whatever it is that we got, they put in the extra time to earn it, right, and motivate us to do better. And that we really had a community behind us, and it makes a difference when you're playing for something other than personal gain. We were playing for the Delray Beach.
Absolutely. And it don't get no bigger than that, man. I'm just telling you. And I really started to feel that when I went to college, right? Because when I went to Florida State, I was the only guy from Palm Beach County on the roster, right, at that time. And then the Dog Blue came right behind me the next year. And he was a freshman All-American his first year, Randy. You know that, right?
Oh, man, I didn't know that.
Oh, my goodness. I didn't know that.
Oh, bro, let me tell you something. Charles Ferguson, bro. Ooh. Oh, man, I can't. That's a whole nother show. But I'm telling you, he was a football player. I tell you today, man, the way I see you, and I played against a lot of guys, and I played with guys, and played, people like Mike Singletary.
Yeah.
Like Lawrence Taylor. Mike Singletary and Lawrence Taylor were in the same class. So we came out in the 81 draft. People like Chip Banks, right?
Chip Banks, yeah, from the Giants.
I put Charles Ferguson in that category.
Okay.
He was getting letters from NFL teams after his freshman year.
Wow.
I mean, he was getting it, right? But y'all know, if you're gonna do this thing, you got to be passionate about it, right? You got to be sold out to it, for the long term, right?
You have to be.
So real quick, Randy, I want to thank you too. I really want to thank you for when I was a 10th grader, Lawrence. I was going to be the backup quarterback at Atlantic, and I was going to be starting free safety, and so I would go to Carl High every day to work out. Right, at 4 o'clock. I didn't miss a day. And Randall got drafted by the Baltimore Colts. Right? And so Baltimore Colts. And so I worked out with him every day.
Wow.
So Randall, I'm telling you about when you were drafted by the Colts, and they switched in positions. So you played linebacker in college, and you going to Baltimore to play fullback. And I was throwing, and we got in the huddle. Randy was always a tough guy. Randy had that look on his face. Right. Everybody's scared, right? So he in the huddle on offense, and I'm throwing the ball every down because I don't want him to get on me, right?
Right.
He gonna jump over, right? So I throw Randy the ball every down. Randy was so tired, he can't do it. He said, "You can throw the ball to somebody else."
I remember that ball.
But I was scared, Lawrence, not to throw the ball, because I said, man, if I don't throw this dude this ball, he gonna get all over me.
He gonna get on me.
But it's just thank you, man, because you came out there and worked out with high school kids, Yeah. And you just don't know what that means to a little high school kid, man. This guy drafted to the Baltimore Colts, and I'm out here working out with him right? Every day, and so it just means a lot, man. And what it does is help me keep my dream.
Yeah.
Because see, I'm gonna tell y'all, man, I was 9 years old. Me and my dad was watching the Chicago Bears play, and I'm watching Gale Sayers play. I told my daddy, that's what I want to do. And he said, that's what you want to do? I said, that's what I want to do. I went to my room. I took a piece of paper, and I wrote down, I'm a pro ball player. I'm a pro ball player. And I put on my dress along. And I put it there, and I read it all the time. And then, it's in me. So when I go outside in the street playing, I'm telling them, I'm Gale Sayers now, right? And so I never forget all the naysayers. Nobody complimented me or said that I can do it but two people in my life. My mother. My mother and I had a mastermind alliance. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
We had a mastermind alliance. Because in her eyes, whatever I said I wanted to do, she encouraged that. And she told me, Bobby, you can do it. Everybody else told me I couldn't do it. And then Larry Coffey, Randy, my best friend in the world, Larry Coffey. We're always talking about, hey, man, going to college and playing football. We're going to go to the next step. And we will be at Coach Coffey house and see guys go to college and quit and come back. And me and Larry, I'm talking about elementary school, we'll be saying to ourselves, if we get that chance, we ain't coming back.
Yeah.
When we leave, we're not coming back. We come to visit, but we ain't coming back.
We're not coming back.
That's right.
Or because it's hard, whatever, right? And so I had those two guys in my corner, my best friend and my mother. And really, to this day, I can't remember the last time my mother called me by my real name. She don't call me Bobby. She don't call me Robert. She called me Champ. Been calling me that ever since I've been at elementary school.
For real? Champ.
She called me Champ.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that Champ can't do, right? And so that helped me when everybody else was saying, "Oh man, you too little," because I had a lot of things going against me. You too little. You smile too much. You can't be tough. You can't be football tough, right? you can't do it. But I was, right? But I was, and so
you were more than a football player. You were a great football player.
Well, thank you.
You were,
you guys had a lot to do with that, believe it or not. Because once the saying, if the eye can see it, then you can achieve it.
Yeah.
Right. And so all it takes is a thought process. If you really see it, you have a vision for it, and you constantly work on that vision, and no matter what somebody do on the side to try to pull you away, you're going to line up to that, bruh. You can't be stopped. I don't care what you're like. I don't care if you spud well.
Absolutely.
I saw Spud Well dunk on Kareem one night in Atlanta. I'm like, God, no, he's 5'7". So, and people told him he couldn't do it.
Bobby, Roger Coffey, I don't know if Randy remembers this, but he saw somebody reading a sports section in the locker room one day. And I remember Roger saying, I don't ever want to see anyone on this team read another sports section again. Wow. He didn't want to have it. He says, whatever you got going on in your head, thinking you're good and all of that, that's not worth a hill of beans until I tell you that you are. I left Carver High School and I didn't know that I was above average football player. I didn't know it. Didn't know it.
Wow.
Roger Coffey refused to let you get the big head.
You don't get no big head. You might get your head slapped.
So let me ask you this question. So at Carver High, y'all did major work, right? And Coach Coffey coached y'all. He's a great coach, disciplinarian coach, who had attended Bethune-Cookman himself, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Randy, you go to Cookman, all right? And Big Daddy, you did something that not only was different, but really different because of segregation at that time.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
And so major college football in the South was still segregated.
Yes, it was.
Now you can go to Michigan State, you can go to Ohio State, you can go to Iowa State, you can go to USC and see African Americans playing those squads. But Alabama didn't have any at the time. Tennessee didn't have any at the time. Florida didn't have any at the time. And so, but you did something different. And so, but you had a mind to do it, and you did it well. You go up there. Not only you went up there, you and Barry Hill went up there.
Barry came up.
You and Barry Hill went up there together, and rewrote the record book. You know, Barry Hill. You know, I think to the day he's the all-time leading interception holder at Iowa State.
Yes, he is.
You went up there, and you were all Big 8. You know, you start out as a nose guard, but because of your athleticism, you ended up playing a little linebacker.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then not only were you a Big 8, you were the captain of the team, which talked about your leadership as a player.
All about Coffee, Henson, and Durden, and Collins, and Josh Smith.
Yeah.
And you didn't talk. Like when we went on defense, you didn't. I don't care how bad you were hurt or how frustrated you were. You kept your mouth shut and let Randy make the call, and then you get in your position and then you play football. And when I got to Iowa State, I was surprised as anybody when that happened, Bobby, because Randy will tell you I'm quiet on the football field. I just take care of my business. Take care of my business, man. I don't have a whole bunch to say, man. I don't remember saying a mumbling word during a football game other than I'm gonna get you. That's the guy in front of me. That's all I ever said. I'm gonna get you.
Wow.
And then we strapped it on, man. We went after it. So
absolutely.
Roger Coffey brought a passion for the game, and you know, when I was drafted and they asked me what I planned on doing, Bobby, I said, I don't think I want to play anymore.
Right.
And the guy said, what are you talking about? I says, well, you know, I played pretty good football without pay. And I think, I don't know if I could do this for that. I don't know if I can. And I think maybe I'm just going to leave it just like it is.
Wow.
And collegiate football is, well, you know, guys, we have this in common. We got to play football with guys that we got to know and like.
Right.
And I wasn't certain that could happen at the NFL level.
Yeah.
Bobby, you know that experience, but
that's true.
It was like you made a bond that was just like high school. Randy Straghn and I doing tour days with my brother Donald and Barry Hill. We would get in the car, whoever was driving that day, we go to the farm store, we got our 2 quarts of orange juice.
I love it.
We have one when we got home and put the other one in the freezer for after the second practice, man. That was every day we practiced 2 a days. The 4 of us were inseparable, man.
That's awesome.
And that kind of cohesion.
Right.
And just like we were doing that, other guys were doing that. When we came together, we were a team.
Right.
And I just fell in love with the concept of team. And I didn't think NFL would ever give me that. So
yeah, it's totally different, and you know it can be wicked in a lot of places too. You know. So, but yeah, because when I played, I was at a, how can I say it, disadvantage. So I want to use that word in the extent that I played for 5 different head coaches in 12 years.
Wow.
So you think about what that meant. That meant every 2 years, pretty much, we were rebuilding and starting over. And we can never. And then guys, you see guys who can play. You got a guy playing next to you, and then they're bringing a guy who don't have good footwork. And you're like, well, why is this guy? You know, and what you gonna say? Nothing.
It's a business.
Go play. It's a business. Go play. Get your check. Right. Take care of your family. Right. So yeah, it's a business, and when you're on a bad team, it's just worse. Right.
Oh,
it's not.
I can't even imagine the feeling that that Coffee imparted, the commitment to excellence, and it was. I remember him taking Tony Penn and refusing to let him have poor footwork.
Right.
He refused to let him drop his elbow. He just refused to do it, man. And Tony would have to throw and throw and throw and throw. And if we didn't run a trap correctly, if we didn't run a draw correctly, running again. And Bethune-Cookman couldn't do anything to Randy except make him better because he came with all the skills.
Yeah. You know, Lars got a good point, Bob. When I was at Cookman my freshman year, I've been hearing people say, "Oh yeah, you probably play your sophomore, your junior year.
Yeah.
I say that I'm going to Bethune-Cookman. I'm gonna take me a position. I'm gonna start that middle linebacker. I ain't sitting no bench.
So
I
nobody.
ain't in school sitting no bench.
Uh-huh.
Sure enough, Penn can tell you when that game, the first season, Morris Brown, I'm gonna start the middle linebacker.
Wow.
And I stayed there until I graduated.
Wow. You see what I'm saying?
One of my coaches say that Weston Moe, as far with the president of the school, he said, I'm gonna bring some middle linebacker and take your spot. After I graduate, then they take my spot. Now while I'm here.
Exactly, right? Oh wow. Wow. But you know, that was bred into you though, Randy.
Yes.
Of course it was.
Where you came from.
Absolutely.
And so Coffee set the bar high.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And so the thing I love about him and coaches like him, if you're average, you're gonna play above average.
Or die.
Or die, right? If you're gonna be there, right?
Yeah.
But if you good, he's gonna make
go to the next level.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So a higher dimension. I like to say it.
But you
Bobby.
know about Anthony Penn, we just say Bobby. Lars can verify this, and we played football with Penn for a while. And for a person to be so small, boy, he had a powerful arm.
Man, oh my goodness.
Throw that ball like Penn. I mean, on target. I mean, he was a laser beam with that football.
Amen.
Oh, absolutely.
And when he's in that huddle, he take control of that huddle.
Yes, he did.
Oh yeah.
He's a leader.
Oh yeah.
No doubt about that. Lester Flower, same way.
Right. So let me tell you, when I was in high school, after I got finished playing high school, Lauren, Penn and Randy, all of them was through. And Penn came home and played for the Delray Cyclones.
Cyclone, yeah.
So I remember him playing high school, and I'm thinking, well, I'm a little older now. Maybe he wasn't as good as I thought he was. Let me go see him play, right? And I'm out there, standing on the gate, and Penn got a ball and went back in a drop back and threw a ball about 70 yards in the air to Fonzo
Wilson.
And I looked at me and Larry Coffey was together. I looked at Larry and said, yeah, he's still all that right there. I mean, and to be so small and so tiny.
Oh, man.
Wow. So, you know, I didn't really know Anthony until about 5 years ago. You know, I said, you know what? I know everybody that's played on Carver High, but I've never met Anthony Penn. So I made it a point to meet Anthony. And so we met and had lunch together. Man, we had lunch. We talked about 4 hours, right?
Yeah.
I was like a kid in Harry Haywood store. Northwest Avenue, right? And, you know, and so I had to put my hand up. I said, man, put your hand up. Let me see how big. I'm looking at what is it that he got, right? I put my hand up. His hand wasn't too much bigger than mine. You know, bigger, right? Well, what is it? I said, well, maybe he's just strong. You know, they call him Popeye. You know, I'm trying to figure it out, right? And he told me, he said, man, I just throw the ball. He said, and I throw. And he said, when I was a kid, he said, I never wanted to play quarterback. He told me that. Yeah. He said, I never wanted to play quarterback. He said, but everywhere I go, I was put in that position, right? And then I just took it up. And he developed that arm. That dude, hey, Randy, let me tell you this. My oldest son just got married last Friday. And he's 33 years old. And he was a basketball player in high school. And Florida State was recruiting him.
Okay.
And so the assistant coach at Florida State at the time was a black gentleman, and he called me to talk about Brenton. And so he said, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from a little place called Delray Beach down in Palm Beach County." He said, "Delray Beach?" I said, "Yeah." Here's the next 2 words came out of his mouth: Anthony Penn is the best quarterback I've ever seen in my life. All right. And so from that on, we started talking about my son. We was talking about next 2 hours, right? And he started to tell me some of the things he see because he went to Cookman as well.
Right.
When he saw Penn do that Cookman, man, it's just amazing. That guy's a real legend, man. I love him to death, man.
And he was clean on the field. You could not get his pants dirty or his shoes dirty. That boy was so fastidious about his stuff.
Oh yeah.
He was good. And you know what else I loved about him? And in high school, I did everything to pattern my game after this. When Penn would scramble, he was an amazing scrambler.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he was.
And so the first time I saw y'all play Roosevelt at Carver. And I saw him scramble. And that's when I knew I wanted to be like him, right? Mm-hmm. And he turned back one way and looped the other way. He went back 30 yards.
Yeah.
He started running toward line of scrimmage. And I'm thinking he's going to run the ball. Man, he launched to Alfonso Wilson again.
Yep.
Touchdown. I go, that dude's special right there.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do right there. Yeah, I love Anthony Penn. And not only was he a great player, he's even a better man, you know. And I really appreciate that about him. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. So here's the thing now. You guys, all of you guys in the same class, and this is amazing to me, right? All you guys in the same class, and 3 of y'all got drafted out of 1970 class, right, to the NFL. One high school team.
Yeah.
One high school team.
Yeah.
3 NFL draft choices in y'all class. All y'all are defensive players, right?
Yeah.
Right. Randy went to the Baltimore Court. You went to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then Barry Hill the next year. What happened to Barry? Did he get hurt? He had to.
Yeah, he had a knee injury. He got a knee injury. Yeah.
Right. Because I think he was in the 75 NFL draft.
Yes, that's correct.
That's
correct.
Right. I tell you, Barry was a heck of an athlete.
Oh.
You always said Greg Dawson is a GOAT because there's nothing Greg Dawson can't do, right?
Oh, man.
I'm just telling you. But Barry Hill was a special athlete as well.
You better believe it.
And I'm going to say, Barry Hill, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I never knew in high school he was a safety.
Oh, man.
I was playing wide receiver his last year. And he's so tall and so athletic, he looked so good doing it, right? and so and then I saw him play basketball one night. Lawrence, I think we talked about this. And I saw him and Greg Dawson play basketball. I'm like, man, this is crazy, right? Those guys were phenomenal athletes.
Oh my goodness.
They're good.
The thing I like about Greg, he was a great baseball player.
Oh man. Bobby, at Iowa State, you know, winter conditioning, right? And we had like 10 courts, you know, Division I. We had everything. So we'd finish our winter conditioning and we'd head over to the gym, the big gym, man.
Wow.
And football players play basketball. Other guys play basketball. Man, and I wanted to play. I wanted to play. That damn Barry wouldn't pick me. Your
homo wouldn't pick
you. Ain't nothing. I said, you ain't gonna pick me, Barry. Hell no, I'm not gonna pick you. Said, you just gonna run over everybody. No, man, you don't have a shot.
Oh my God.
So Bobby, I had to learn how to play racquetball and squash and handball. And I used to go up there. I says, "Come on, you need to play me in this other sport." He's like, "I ain't coming down there so you can hit me."
So at high school, did you play anything other than football? Did you put a shot on the track team? You do anything like that?
I did shot put for a minute. Coach Collins didn't have enough time to coach me.
Right.
I tried shot put just because it was something to do. And I tried baseball for a minute, but Bobby, I could never get accustomed to somebody throwing a curveball at my head. I'm not that guy, man.
You know, that's like with me, like your dad Zach and you know Red Odom. Now Red Odom did coach me Delray Rocks my last 2 years at Delray Rocks. All those guys had baseball teams. Even Ricky Grant had a baseball team back then. That was a game that never pulled me out.
Yeah.
You know, I go watch all my friends play. I felt so comfortable sitting in the stands, right? I had this vision. Hit a grounder to a shortstop, and I'm beating it out, right? And somebody hit me in the side of the head and the temple with that ball. I don't know why I had that vision. I don't know if I saw that in the game somewhere, but that's the reason why I didn't play baseball. And then one night I saw my cousin get hit. He was pitching Joe Chaney, and he was right-handed pitching. You know, Joe Chaney left-handed. And his follow through before he can come up, that ball had hit him in his eye. I go, no.
Oh my goodness.
I said, no. That game.
Well, you know, Bobby, speaking of baseball, if me and Lauren junior year, Carver went to the state championship in baseball. Ray Dobson, Fonzo Wilson, Carl Straghn.
Wow.
Luster Flower played third. I played second base. David Graham was the catcher. Man, our record was 22-2.
Wow.
We went to the state and Tampa.
Wow.
And we lost that game. I think we lost that game 3-2.
Wow.
And
that's big right there. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a true fact. I mean, we were 22. We lost 2 games that whole season. We had the best pitching staff. That Fonzo Wilson, Grave Dobson, and Carl Straghn.
Oh yeah. Oh man, yeah. That's loaded right there.
Yeah, we were very gifted.
I think Fonzo
that year we almost won the state baseball championship the following year. But what happened? We lost in the state championship game.
Wow.
Catholic school, Tampa Catholic.
Tampa. Yep. You know,
that's some great athletes, Bobby. That's some great athletes, man.
Oh, Delray has always been loaded with them, right? And so I look at you guys. I look at during your time, and then even in your time, the last 2 years of Carver High, we had a lot of African Americans playing over at Seacrest.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because there was no room in the inn. Everybody was gonna get on the field at Carver. And so I tried to figure that out because when I interviewed Coach Collins and Red and Bill Caesar, back in those days, there was no other outlet. Man, we just had to sit and wait.
Yeah.
And maybe we can play our last year in high school.
Yeah. But Bobby, what's really interesting about that is everybody who came out had to be prepared to play both ways.
Right.
You didn't make the team by just playing offense or defense.
Right.
You had to master 2 positions. Two positions you had to master.
Wow.
And it really made everybody work a little bit harder. I can remember just dry heaving in practice, man.
Wow.
It was hard, man. There was nothing fun about football. Nothing. It
would work. The amazing thing with me, I was blessed in this sense, Lawrence. The fact that in high school, I wore a red jersey.
Oh man, you gonna get hit.
Oh no.
So I want to hear this now. So I'm in high school and I got the red jersey. I never get hit. I play both ways too, right? I play both. But you couldn't hit me in practice. Right?
Nope.
Oh man.
So in high school, I was a white collar player. And then I go to Florida State, right? And so in my mind, I said to myself, all right, I'm not playing offense no more. I'm playing defense, but I'm going to return punts. I'm going to return kickoffs. I got to get my hand on that ball some kind of way.
Yeah.
That was my thinking. And as a freshman, I wanted to make the traveling squad and return kicks. That was my whole goal. Make the traveling squad and return kicks. Man, I get to Tallahassee and they had 2 seniors returning punts. And I'm looking at them. And I go, they ain't got what I got. They ain't got it. All I got to do is catch that ball. They're going to see. Because you can't stop me.
Right.
You can't stop me. and Lawrence, I never forget, man, this day I was going over the shag punts. And the defensive coordinator, who was also the secondary coach, he said, I don't want you over there catching punts. So I'm telling you right now. And he said it this way. He said, ain't no freshman going to return no kicks for me. He said, so I'm telling you right now, if you want to play, you better take your little butt on the other end. You say, look down there, see they're blocking kicks down the other side. You go down there and learn how to block kicks. And that thing hit me. I said, and I looked down there, and we ain't had no pad. Now they laying out.
Right.
Driving on their belly, bam, hitting their head, bam. And I had a moment. I am not a white collar football player no more.
Welcome to the real world.
Oh, it's the real world. I'm blue collar. But here's the good news in that. Because of how I was coached, because of how I was coached, I learned to do what my coaches asked me to do.
Yep.
I went down there and gave my best shot.
Yep.
And Big Daddy, this day, that was the fall of 1977. And to this day, in 2021, I'm the all-time leading kick blocker in Florida State history.
For what?
Wow.
To I should sell out. I should sell out. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. I was a great diver.
No kidding.
I could dive, right? As a matter of fact, I posted one on Facebook, I think yesterday or today. When I laid out, I was in the air, just a perfect swan. I take pride in that now. I gave up everything. And no, I'm probably gonna get a concussion by the time I hit that ground. But you know, that's how it was in Delray. You know,
oh, absolutely.
You were coached hard, you were athletic, you had it in you, but you were coached the right way. And then when we left town, that left with us too. What Coach Coffee put in you guys, what Coach Wilder, what Red Odom put in me. Red Odom taught me how to tackle, y'all, playing for the I didn't want to do it. And look what ended up happening, Randy. I went to school to tackle people. Yeah. I was an All-American tackling people. I was a first-round draft choice tackling people and played 12 years tackling people.
Okay.
And I didn't want to do it. Red kept telling me, all right, Bobby, you need to, you know, I was sitting on the bench in 8th grade and I was hurt. And I was playing behind Bubba Brown. I was like, you know, so I learned how to tackle, man.
Oh, absolutely. Bobby, the same thing happened to me at Iowa State freshman year. We go in there for 2-a-days and we're doing, you know, your drills. And I've been taught you tackle with your head up, tuck it in your shoulders, and you wrap them up. You don't fly into anything. You go in under control. And I am convinced because of that one thing that Coach Henson always taught me. You tackle with your head up, bury your face in it, and you wrap him up and you put him down.
That's it.
And he said, you don't have to kill him. Right. You got to get your technique right. Get your technique right. And that was the reason that I know it's the reason I made it at Iowa State playing defense.
Absolutely.
Small things.
But man, look, man, I can talk with you guys forever. Our time is up on our show. And we got to do this again, man. Matter of fact, I know I'm in the class of 7-7, but when y'all have a class reunion, y'all invite me to y'all class reunion.
We're going to have one.
Class reunion so I can talk to everybody, right?
Bobby, thank you so much for bringing me back to my good friend Randy Straghn, man. Randy, I miss you so much, man. I miss you, buddy.
I'm gonna give you guys each other's contact information after the show, right?
Okay.
Please do.
That's our show. If you like the video, like it, comment, share it. This is 100 Yards of Football, and this has been our legend segment tonight. And man, we're just so thankful to have Carbohydrate, Iowa State great, Pittsburgh Steelers, Mr. Lawrence Big Daddy Hunt, and Mr. Randy Meat Strong, Bethune-Cookman great, and Baltimore coach. Hey guys, I love you guys, man. My life has been changed because of you. Thank you so much.
Bobby, thanks so much for the opportunity. Be well.
All right.
See you later, Randy. Bye, Bobby.
Be good.